Hello and welcome in Brighton, Utah. I'm Carly Judd Hardy, the author of the memoir Spirited, a 100-mile run to save a life. And the wall you can see behind me, filled with pictures and significant letters, was an inspiration for me writing the book. So I really wanted to share it with my readers and let you know that out that window and just down the hill is a road, the road up Big Cottonwood Canyon, that is part of the course that I ran when I ran the Wasatch 100. I came down in the very early morning hours. Some runners come along in the, yes, towards the middle of the night, those that are on a faster pace. But it was in recalling that the course of the Wasatch 100 goes near the cabin that then I realized, wow, maybe what I need to do in writing this memoir is write about the race in some chapters and then alternate and tell a little bit about my family history. So, directly on the wall behind me, you can see a picture of a distinguished gentleman, and that is my great grandfather, Heber J. Grant. He was the seventh prophet of the Mormon Church. He had three wives, and right next to him, if I lean over here, is a picture of my great grandmother, the second of his three wives, Augusta W. Grant, Augusta Winters Grant. And actually, the other two wives passed away before he ascended to be the prophet. So my great grandmother was with him through the entire presidency that he served as the head of the Mormon Church. And then the oval picture is a picture of their one daughter, my grandmother, Mary Grant Judd. Yes, just such a beautiful, sweet picture. And then below her, you're probably wondering, but that's Heber as a child, dressed to almost look like a girl in the photograph that was taken of him. And then below is my father. Yes, right to the right of my shoulder, Mary Grant Judd's fifth child, Robert Lund Judd. So there's my family history on display. And this cabin has been in the family since 1899. So I came here initially as a 6-month-old. My father was so excited to bring me up here with my mother. My father, they called him Bart, and my mother, Louise. Now that they had this new baby girl in their lives, they wanted to bring her up. And I've been coming back every summer since to spend time. It's a place that I love dearly. And it's also set in such a beautiful setting. Yes, it was built in a beautiful setting. So I've had chances growing up to walk out through nature to Silver Lake. It's nearby. And then also, our mother took us on day hikes as we were growing up. There are 3 lakes, Mary, Martha, and Catherine. We would hike that, or to Solitude. So I became very comfortable in the outdoors, hiking and seeing the beauty, taking in the beauty, and knowing how, yes, to navigate and to be out in nature. When we were old enough, she let us go over to Silver Lake by ourselves. She was a busy mom, and we loved doing that. So we memorized the different trails that could go. So when it came time to run the Wasatch 100, I did have some practice thanks to summers spent here at the cabin. And then a little more on the history. There is a letter right behind me on the wall, and that's where Heber gives the cabin to Augusta. So it starts with, "My darling Gusta, I have made good on my promise, and the deeds will be made out at once." That's where he gives her the cabin. And the date is August 21st, 1899. And then at the end, he says that if they don't want the cabin, there's a gentleman who's agreed to repurchase it. But here we are, 120 years later, still enjoying tremendously, still enjoying the ability to get away in the cabin, to hold this heritage dear, and to, yes, play in the mountains and just relax in the solitude of this setting. So I wanted to share this beautiful wall and that was a part of my life, almost a living museum with all of my readers. Thanks for being here today and enjoy reading about these characters behind me, about the part that my father played in my life, yes, and the history that I always enjoyed when I came to the cabin. Appreciate all of you. Without readers, you can't really get a book out there. So I appreciate my readers. Take care.